Hey y'all, and welcome to another episode of Highly Talkative, where we get high in conversation and discuss many topics from personal to community to anything that's going on in the world. So sit back, get cozy, and let me talk to you. Let's go. All right, y'all, what's up? Welcome to another episode of Highly Talkative with your girl, A. Millie. Today is Tuesday, May 12th, and let's just kind of dive right in. So this past weekend, as you guys know, it was Mother's Day. So happy Mother's Day to all those. Good God, I can't talk. Happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there, single moms, married moms, in a relationship moms, whatever kind of mom you are. Happy Mother's Day. I hope you guys had a great weekend. Um, for me, I don't even know how to explain it. It was just like a mixture of all the feels because I was missing my mom, and it's just me and my kids, and I don't know if I'm not raising them right in this aspect, but to them it was just another day. It wasn't anything like special. My youngest did make something in school, but I think I was just really in my feels for missing my mom and just seeing like all the appreciation posts on Facebook. And I know this sounds like really cliche, but I was just like, damn, like it's just another day. Like nobody around here really appreciates me. So I mean, it's cool, it's whatever. But I got an unexpected visitor, which was my mom, and she showed up in the form of a cardinal, and she flew in the backyard and was chilling up on a tree long enough for me to be able to take a picture of it. So I think that was just my mom's way of reassuring me, like, just calm down. It is what it is. You still have young children. Like, just take the day as it goes and just be grateful that you're here to celebrate it with your kids. And then after that, I kind of just like got out of my funk. And then shout out to my best friend Alex because she is the fucking goat. We were taking like FaceTime shots or whatever, and she was just asking me, what I was doing for Mother's Day, and I was just like, nothing, just been in the bed chilling all day. And then I finally got up and I cooked myself a steak, and I hear my alarm go off, and I'm like, what the fuck is that? And it's her coming through my garage with the bottle, and we just chilled for a little bit. So I'm really appreciative for like, my support system and my best friend because she really just shows up in moments where I really need somebody. And I don't even think that she notices that she does that because she's just authentically her. But yeah, so shout out to her and to all the women who were kind of in a funk like I was. Just no, you're not alone. And we just have to understand that sometimes that, things don't really go as planned. But at the end of the day, be grateful for still being alive, still being here, still being able to be with your kids. Like, it's a blessing. So after that, and it kind of like was back to back. Like I seen my mom, and then boom, Alex showed up, and I was just like, okay, yeah, that was just a sign for me to just chill, relax. Like it is what it is. It's not that big of a deal. Like yes, it's Mother's Day, but whatever. And then also, okay, I've been working out now. We're going on 3 weeks straight, and I've been really proud of myself. I started to feel like I was seeing like changes in my body, not drastically, but like a little bit. And then on Saturday, me and my kids are in HEB because we're picking up snacks for my youngest son's team. He was having a flag football game, and we're just walking in the store, minding our business, picking up snacks, and pushing my baby girl in her stroller. And this man walks by with his wife or with his friend because he looked a little flamboyant. And if you are hearing this, yeah, I'm talking about you, fuck boy, because what the actual fuck. Anyways, we're walking in, and like I said, I'm minding my business, walking down these aisles, picking up my snacks for my son, and out of nowhere, this man goes, "How far along are you?" And I'm like, "What?" And he's like, how far along are you? And I was like, what are you talking about? And then he's rubbing his belly, and I'm like, my daughter is in the stroller, and she's about to be 2 months on the 18th. And he was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. Yeah, how about you just shut the fuck up and stop talking to me? So that kind of like also put me in a funk, and I've still kind of been in a funk. Like I even text my cousin earlier this morning, and I was like, I know I've only been working out for a couple weeks, but what the actual fuck? Like I felt like I was feeling good, and now I see a double chin. Now I'm walking past the mirror every now and then, just looking at my stomach. Like I just feel super fat, and watching my eating habits, I'm really just like, this is why that man thought you were like 8 months pregnant on Saturday, girl. Because what the fuck? And then my cousin was like, of course, like, bitch, you just had a baby. Like, your baby's not even 2 months old. You got cut the fuck open. You didn't push a baby out. So, like, give yourself some grace and don't piss me off. It's not even 8 o'clock in the morning yet. Yes, that's literally how early I had texted her because, like I said, I've just been in my feels for a little while since I guess like since Saturday because I was just like, what the actual fuck, sir? Like, how about you just don't say anything? Men, if you're not sure, women, if you're not sure, don't say shit at all. Like, don't say anything. Don't see a woman and just assume that she's pregnant because she looks pregnant. Like, shut the fuck up. Like, we don't walk by you in your gray sweatpants and be like, oh, how big is it? Because it looks really little. So, like, just mind your business. Like, that literally upset me. I'm not even going to lie to y'all. And I know you can probably hear it in my voice, but I was, again, like, what the fuck? Like, excuse me? Like, that's never happened to me before. And for you to really say that to me, and I've been working out for like a good 2 weeks. Like I said, I know it's not a lot of time to give myself progress, but I was feeling good about myself until that man said that to me. And I was just like, great, fuck you, go fuck yourself. And yes, I absolutely meant that because, again, what the actual fuck? But, anyways, so that was kind of like my weekend. Happy Mother's Day, right? And then I was also listening to the Breakfast Club, and I really love them. Like in the future, I can see myself on there as either like a co-host, host, or just getting on there to promote myself and really be like, damn, I really made it. Like I can remember talking about this moment, but they were talking about a topic that as well that was basically discussing like men as being gold diggers as well as women. And my question or like my statement is like who are the biggest gold diggers, men or women? And I felt what the women on the show were saying, and that's only because I've encountered that myself. Um, I'm not gonna put any names out there or like any time frames, but I did encounter somebody where like all they wanted was stuff that could benefit them. Like, yes, they helped me in like to an extent where it came to like my kids and stuff, but like emotionally, they were asked like they were no type of emotional support. They were very jealous of the moves that I was making and the progress that I was making in my life. And like I would get my kids something and then they would be jealous that they didn't get it, or it always be like, oh my god, your mom or your dad gave you this foundation and fuck my parents for not giving me that foundation and X, Y, and Z, and always wanting the finer things. Like I remember at the time I wasn't able to afford like Jordans and all this other shit. So I'd get him what he claimed he liked, which were New Balances or whatever. So I would go out of my way to try to get those, but then he would shit on me. And I'm just like, at this point, like, if you know who I'm talking about, I call him my ex girlfriend. Like, I was the man in that relationship. He really didn't provide me like any soft girl era structural foundation, like anything like that. Like I was in pure survival mode while also trying to provide for my kids, myself, and at the end of the day, this grown ass man who really should have been able to provide for himself, no matter the circumstances that he was in, because I find myself kind of in his same circumstance. But at the end of the day, like I'm not letting that hinder me. I'm letting that push me to want to do better and push me to want more. So that's just like where I'm kind of standing with that. And like I said, all he did was want, want, want. Like he was going out to the club asking me for money for him and his friends. He would want to go on trips, but I'm the one paying for them, like booking the flights, booking the rental, booking the hotel. Like I'm the one paying for all this stuff. And he would always find something to be upset about, always find something to complain about. Like I can't remember any vacation that we went on that we were not arguing, because I guess he just felt so little in the skin that he was in. Honestly, I can't even speak for him. I don't know what he was feeling. I can only speak for myself and what I felt and what I experienced. And I was just like, yeah, once I finally got over him and like looked back and, went through like I'm still going through therapy, but we weren't really in a relationship. Like it was more so for the benefit of him than it was for the benefit of me. Because even when I was going through what I was going through with my mom and stuff, like even with her being sick those couple of years and then into her passing, he was not there. He was a non-factor. He was actually making things worse. He was not a person I could go and confide in. So it was just like, yeah. And it, for me, yes, gold digging has to do with money, but it also has to do with my time too, especially when I have kids. Like it was literally like just a fuck you. And I'm okay with it now. Like, of course I can talk about it, but in my eyes, men can be just as much of gold diggers than women can be. And a lot of men, for them, I don't really know if y'all consider it gold digging or not, because I know a lot of men who live by the phrase, it ain't tricking if you got it. If you got money and she want it, then, I'm balling, it's whatever. But in the same aspect, I see how men can see that for women as well. But either way it goes, I don't feel like that's okay. Like, if you have money, you use your money for what you feel like you want to use it for, but don't try to con me or trick me into providing a lifestyle for you that you can't even provide for yourself. I'm not dealing with that shit no more. And I have two sons. One who is in his teenage years, and the other one who is growing fastly into his teenage years as well. Like, he's about to hit double digits. And I don't ever want them to think that that is okay. Like, if you can't afford it, don't expect nobody to afford it for you. If you can't get it yourself, don't expect anybody else to get it for you. You need to grind just as hard as the next person in front of you, if not harder. Like, don't try to use any type of crutches or any type of excuse to solidify why you can't get it and why you need somebody else to get it for you. Support, help, cool, but there's a difference between getting support and getting help and just using somebody for your own financial or any type of gain. I'm not fucking with that. So, like I said, I'm really just trying to teach my kids now, especially because what I've been through myself, like, it's not okay. Don't let anybody do it to you, and don't be that burden for anybody else either. And it's just mind blowing how the older we get, the more I see it. Like, it's crazy. Like, I even was trying to cut ties with somebody that I was talking to a while ago, not even a while ago, but like a while ago. And I was just like, I don't think that our friendship should really continue on, because at the end of the day, I feel like I'm using you. Like, I only hit you up when I really need something. Like, I can't do certain things, and that's when I hit you up, and I don't feel like that's okay. Like, I don't want to be that type of person. But to him, it was perfectly fine. But yeah, like, I'll leave that situation before I allow myself to fall into that pattern. And once I see myself falling into that pattern, I'm absolutely going to say something, because, like I said, at the end of the day, I don't want anybody using me the way that I was used before, and I wouldn't use them either. So that's kind of like where I'm standing with that in raising kids, and especially my youngest being a girl now. I don't want them to ever think that it's okay. Like, I don't want her to see her brothers going through that or acting that kind of way and thinking that that's okay for her as well. I want my kids to know, like, grind for what you have, keep what you have. If you want to be selfish and tell somebody no, it's absolutely okay, but do what you want to do with your money. And at the end of the day, if you want to trick off on your money, then that's on you. That girl's not a gold digger. That's something that you want to do. Or that man's not a gold digger. That's something you want to do. But don't ever fall pressure to somebody wanting your money and going about it any kind of way that they can to receive it, basically. And then it's like, I don't know, because, like, to me, like I said, I feel like women and men can both be gold diggers. So I'm really just at the point where I'm like, you know, who really does it more? And I feel like it's a lot quicker to lean towards women being a gold digger, because I think, like, that's the perception that's been portrayed to everybody. Women are gold diggers. It's never really men that get talked about who are gold diggers. But at the end of the day, they are just as much gold diggers or women are. So who do we really have to blame? Like, how is this not a conversation that's talked about more? How men are gold diggers just like women, but instantly a woman gets called out on being a gold digger more than a man does. And I don't believe like all men or all women are gold diggers. I just feel like how I've witnessed things, like, it's kind of like an equal medium. Honestly, no. How I've been realizing things on my end, it's a lot more men than there are women who are actually gold diggers. And like I said, I only know this because I've experienced it before, and I'm really just like, but then once I seen it in him, I seen it a lot on Facebook too, about like men wanting to ask women for certain things, and how you're not even in a relationship, but if the shoes are on the other foot, then the woman would be considered a gold digger. So I don't understand it. So I have two questions for you guys. One, who do you feel are bigger gold diggers? Is it men? Is it women? Is it a combination of both? And why do you feel that way? And two, do you yourself have gold digger tendency? And when I say gold digger, I do put that in open quotations because there is a broad spectrum for me as to what a gold digger is, who can really be a gold digger, as opposed to somebody tricking. Um, so yeah, answer those questions for me, guys. I would love to talk about it on my next segment. You can email those answers or responses to highlytalkative@gmail.com, and I would love to read what you guys have to say. And I just realized I didn't give you guys the topics that we're going to be talking about. So let me kind of go over that. We already talked about the biggest gold diggers, men or women, but I also want to discuss being called a good mom or a parent in general, the double standards with raising boys versus raising girls. Are you a conspiracy theorist type of person? Um, Getting to go out. I finally got to go out this past weekend for Mother's Day weekend, and let me tell you guys something. It was a time. Sharing photos or info of my kids over social media or my podcast, my baby girl's sleeping schedule as of lately, my oldest trying new sports, and a mental health, how it's mental health and awareness month. Okay, so like I said, we already discussed like the gold digger thing. So the next topic is me being called a good mom or a good parent in general. First of all, it really just puts me in my feels, like when somebody just randomly tells me that, because I think I'm my biggest critic. Like I'm much harder on myself than I really need to be when it comes to me being a mom. But it at the end of the day, it's just me, so I really need to learn how to give myself more grace. But I was at my oldest son's school, and because of an incident that happened, and with that incident, I just so happened to run into the dean of the school, and we were kind of discussing what was going on and like what happened and why the teacher had called me. And ironically, the teacher that called me also showed up. So we were all like in a meeting, and the teacher was kind of like, my son told me what happened and why he ended up doing what he did, and the teacher was kind of explaining too, but she was asking him questions but then speaking over him, so he really couldn't answer the question. And I had to tell her, like, okay, look, like, all due respect, but this is one of the reasons why he's frustrated. Like, I get it, you may not believe what he's saying, but at the end of the day, stop cutting him off. If you're going to ask him a question, allow him the time to answer it, whether you believe what he's saying is inaccurate or what. Don't cut him off, because that's going to frustrate him. It would frustrate me. Don't ask me something and then at the end of the day try to cut me off because that's not what your story is with the question that was being asked. And then like I said, we were kind of just going over things, and I'm a right is right and a wrong is wrong type of mom. If you're right, I got your back 100,000%. If you're wrong, I'm going to tell you where you went wrong and suggest how you can go about it the next time. And at the end of the day, if you take my advice, then great. That shows me you're learning and you're trying to progress. But if you continue to not take my advice, then whatever outcome from that situation that you get finally is just the outcome that you're going to have to receive. And then that's when you're going to have to learn the hard way. Um, so yeah, at the end of like the conversation, I think we were at the school for maybe 30, 45 minutes, like discussing everything. And his dean was just like, you have a really good mom. He was like, don't take that for granted. Ma'am, you are a really great mom, and I appreciate you so much, because I tell my son all the time, like, you get in incidents where if they were to call somebody else's parent, that parent wouldn't show up the way I show up. That parent wouldn't give a fuck. That parent would tell them, whatever you do, that's cool. Or some parents don't even answer the phone or give a phone call back. I care. I want the best for you, which is why I show up. I advocate. And like I said, if right is right and wrong is wrong, then I'm going to let it be known amongst everybody. But also at the end of the day, you still have my support. Um, so like I said, it made me feel really good, because sometimes I'm really just down on myself and I'm like, okay, you went at that a little too hard, or you weren't hard enough, or you really hurt his feelings, so what are you going to do about it now? But y'all don't understand how long of a way it goes just randomly telling a mother that she's a good mom. Whether it's like a small situation or a big one, I appreciated it. So it really just put me in my feels a little bit, and it made me feel really good about like what I was doing and the steps that I take when it comes to my kids. So yeah, shout out to them because that compliment, like I said, it went a really long way. Now, when it comes to raising kids, right? Now I'm in the boat now where I have both boys and a girl. And I remember having this conversation with my oldest son's dad verbatimly, but I don't like the fact that people raise boys differently than they raise girls, or raise girls differently than they raise boys, and they have like different stipulations and all these other kind of things. Like my oldest son's dad, from to my knowledge, he has I think 4 kids, my son being his only son, and then his oldest son, and then also having a trail of girls behind him. And I would notice how he would literally go out of his way to go pick his girls up, whether they're an hour away, 2 hours away, but making sure he's spending time with them and being coddling with them and being soft with them and all these other things. But it was kind of like a fuck my son. Like when I say my son, I literally mean my son. I know that's a son that we had together, but he's my child. And I had to tell him, like, I get it. You have a whole bunch of girls, but he is your only boy and he is your oldest boy. And the way you treat him is so shitty. I don't agree with it. And the double standard that you have for them, like, oh, he doesn't need me in his life because he has a good mom, but I can still be here for all of my girls. I don't like that shit. Like, I even told, like, I straight up told him, I don't like that. Like, you really make him feel unwanted. And even when he's in your presence, you're not like that. You're not the soft dad to him. You always make him feel like shit. You always got something negative to say. I'll share like a really good moment with you about him, and then somehow you turn that really good moment into a, well, he could have did this better, or he should have did this better, or this is why he's not this way. And I'm just like, why does it have to be like that? Like, I don't get it. But also, like, and this is being a general broad statement here, but like boys dating versus girls dating. My boys, I don't want them to date honestly until they're in high school. They know a little bit more about themselves, they know a little bit more what they like. But dating also comes with certain not precautions, but it comes with certain things with me. Like, you can't date and be failing all your classes. You can't date and be failing any of your classes. You can't date and be disrespectful to women. You can't date and the way that I see you moving around at home and think that I don't wouldn't think that you would do that to another girl, right? And same thing goes for my baby girl. Like, the same stipulations. I have no different outcomes, or I have no different expectations for them than I do for her, right? And I'm just like, if you can't listen to me, you can't be respectful for me, you can't think rationally when it comes to certain things, why should I allow you to date? Like, you have to show me that you're able and willing to really go out there and do the right thing when it comes to dating somebody before I can even think or fathom the thought of you dating. So if you're failing classes, you need to be focused on school more than you are focused on having a girl on your side or in your phone, or a boy on your side or in your phone. If you can't be respectful to me, what makes you think I think you can be respectful to another man or another woman? And if you are more respectful for them than you are for me, then we really still have a problem, because at the end of the day, I am your mother. And no, it's not like the same kind of respect, but if you're showing me certain signs at home and then think that when you go out to the world they're going to be like totally different signs, then we have, in my eyes, we have a problem. So it's like, I expect these little things from you before you think you can go out and start dating or talking to multiple people or what have you. Like, you really need to show me how focused you are within yourself before you can go out and start dating. And I think that also comes from my childhood trauma and always wanting to be accepted and always wanting to be like wishing I was in a relationship because of certain things or whatever. But as I grew older, I understood like it's okay not to be in a relationship. It's okay to be single. It's okay to focus on me more than I'm focusing on somebody else, because that's draining. I'm more worried about your feelings than I am my own. And I don't want my kids to go through that, boy or girl. But I also see where some parents out here, or we'll say some dads out here, are the complete, not opposite, but the girl can't date, but the boy can. The boy can date at like 13, 14, 15, 16, but if a girl were to say something about dating, it's what the fuck, hell no, such and such. And it's like, I get it, that's daddy's girl, but you need to feel the same way about the boy, and you can't expect either sex to, I don't know how to explain it. Like, I don't know how to like, both sexes, like boys and girls, should both be held to the same standard when it comes to dating. Like, that's just how it is for me. They should be held to the same standard, how they're being raised. You want men to be gentlemen, and you want ladies to have respect. I mean, you want men to, for me, being a gentleman, that also falls under the umbrella of having respect. But you want women or your daughters to be very self aware and understanding of, you know, things that are happening, just like I would want my boys to be understanding to things that are happening. Like, I want them both to be very mindful. I want them both to be very respectful. I want my sons to hold the door for women, and I want my daughter to be able to say thank you to somebody who's holding the door for her. Like, I don't feel like either one of them should be held to a different standard. And I don't know if I'll feel this way in a couple years, like when she gets older, but right now I'm sticking very firm into both boys and girls should be treated the exact same. I get it, like men should be more masculine and, take control and put the woman in the softer era, but that woman or that child or that girl or what have you should also help that person put her in that soft girl era or whatever. So I'm just like, you know, I don't, yeah, I just don't know. I just know, like me personally, I want to raise my boys and my girls to be equal in general. Like, everything that I'm telling your brothers about, like, everything that I'm telling your brothers also applies to you, and everything that I'm telling your sister also applies to y'all. And I know it's kind of different because my oldest and my youngest have a 13-year age gap. My middle and my youngest have a 9-year age gap, but then my middle child and my oldest child only has a 4-year age gap. So it's like, I know times are changing and everything, but at the end of the day, I want everybody to follow the same rules. Like, don't let nobody disrespect you. Don't disrespect anybody else. It's okay to pay for dates or whatever, but don't always expect the man to pay, and don't expect the woman to pay always. Like, there are equal parts of dating, and not just dating, but it's equal parts of coexisting that I want my kids to understand. Okay. And that's just how I feel about it. I don't know how anybody else feels about it. I'm just telling you how I feel and what's important to me. Okay. So we're going to fall into the next topic. Are you a conspiracy theorist? For me, hell yes. I am a conspiracy theorist through and through. I don't care what anybody says. I don't care how anybody feels. I 100% believe that aliens are real, but they come from the sea, because the sea is so big and under researched. Like, no matter how much somebody voyages out in the sea to discover something new, there's always much, much more. Um, do I think space is real? Yes, to an extent. But I even made a Facebook post a couple years ago, and I was just like, imagine you're looking through a telescope. Like, imagine being sold a telescope and you're thinking you're looking into outer space, but at the end of the day, you're really just looking into a telescope that has pre-programmed sites in there for you to look through when you're looking through it, and you're really not looking into space. Just like in my head, how could we have landed on the moon and never have been back there, but we're working on getting back to landing on the moon, but it's already happened? So where is the discrepancy there? um Now, that's just for me. I can't speak for anybody else, and I'm a proud conspiracy theorist. Like, I don't care how you feel about me and the theories that I come up with or the theories that I believe, but that's just who I am. Just like with breast cancer, I'm a firm believer of, when you go get mammograms, and if you have a tumor in there, I'm not allowing you to squeeze my breast. I don't want you to do that, because you squeeze my breast, and then at the end of the day, that's how you're getting all the cancer cells to spread more, rather than taking it out and giving me a biopsy and seeing, what the precautions are, or where things are really growing, etc. But I feel like once you squeeze that boob and you're like, oh yeah, here's a tumor, let me squeeze it, or we're having a mammogram, let me just squeeze your boob to see what, what I'm feeling or whatever, then that's when things start to progress and get worse. Chemtrails, totally believe in those. I'm just, like I said, I'm all over the place when it comes to conspiracy theories. And I brought this topic up because I was watching Jersey Shore Family Vacation, and they were basically talking about like the same thing, conspiracy theories, and how some of them believe that the earth is flat and not round, and so on and so forth. But that's just what I believe in. That's just how I work. And I think that to a point, like everything that I've conspired has actually been proven to be like true or on the break of being true. So I'm just like, are we really conspiracy theorists, or is this like the universe's way of talking to us and making us more precautious about certain things that we're doing? Am I right? I don't know. But am I wrong? I don't know either. So it's just like a toss up in the air for me. But with that being said, I want to know how you guys feel about conspiracy theories, or if you're one yourself. And if you are one, what is one of your main theories that you conspire about and you wholeheartedly believe in your heart that is true? And again, email that information at highlytalkative@gmail.com, because I would love to read that and kind of just go over it. Okay, my next topic. I finally got to go out in what feels like has been over a year, right? Um, First off, I made sure to pack my pump and like a makeshift cooler before I had went out, because you never I in my head I wasn't going to be out long, but I also just didn't know where the night was going to take me, so I wanted to be very precautious about what I was doing. So I made sure I packed my pump. um, my sister, which is my daughter's godmom, kept her for me. Well, it was really my niece, but my sister helped out. They kept baby girl for me. Yes, the boys went over there as well, but they're really just like they can take care of themselves, especially my middle son, who's 9. If he wants something, he can go fix it. He's very independent. It was more so baby girl that I was worried about. Um, but I really ended up having a really, really good time that night. Me and my best friend went out together, and it was just a vibe. Like some of the football moms showed up too. And like I said, it was really just a vibe. Like we drank, we had some chicken wings that were good as fuck. Oh my god, them chicken wings were so goddamn good. And the French fries were so crispy and they were delicious and seasoned. It was just a really good time for me. So I'm just very thankful that I was able to do that. And I will plan my next one for like the next 6 months out to do it again, because it was like really an impromptu. You trying to go out, but not an impromptu, because I had to make sure I had a babysitter. But it was just really good. My niece called me a couple times because my baby girl was a little fussy, but I kind of walked her through it. But after that, I didn't hear anything from her. When I got done at the bar, went to my sister's house, and I just ended up staying the night there because it was too late and I didn't want to wake up all my kids up and drag them back home. So we all just stayed the night there. But even when I got to my sister's house, like my girl was asleep, I was able to eat really quickly, and then by the time I got done eating, she was up. So I was able to feed her and then basically just sleep the rest of the night. It was great. I really appreciated it, because your girl, I'm not gonna say was going stir crazy, but I was just like, damn, I haven't been out in a minute. Like, I really just want to get out the house. I kind of just want to go out. I don't want to go to a club. I don't want it to be too crazy. I just put me in a bar setting where I can eat, we can drink, we can chill, have some fun, and go on about our business. And that's literally what we did. And at the end of the night, we was in the parking lot. I'm not gonna say we were parking lot pimping, but the parking lot was lit, more lit than it was in the club, in my opinion. Like, I don't know who had that car that had the system in a trunk, but whatever girl was on the aux cord, she could stay on the aux cord, baby, because we was outside lit. It was just a really good time. It was a good way for me to bring in, I guess, Mother's Day to an extent. But yeah, um, Alex, girlfriend, we need to do this not more often, but once every 6 months is cool with me. Okay, so yeah. shout out to my sister and my niece, like I said, for keeping my kids, because without y'all, I would not have been able to go out. Like, let's keep it a buck 50. All right. So my next topic is sharing photos or info of my kids over social media and my podcast. I'm trying to be more mindful of that, just because, like, yeah, I want y'all in my business, but not a lot. Like, my kids are very near and dear to me, so I don't want y'all being weirdos and going to find like extra information or photos or anything like that of them. So I really try to like be very precautious of the type of information that I share with them, their team names, their eight, like all of that, just until I become a little bit more comfortable. Because, like I said, there are weirdos out there. Like, not everybody is a weirdo, but I know for a fact, like, if somebody wants to find something out, they can absolutely do that. But I just try to keep my kids' information under wraps. But of course, we can't always be 100% sure about things like that. But I've just come to the point where even when like I'm sharing photos of my kids, I try to stay on one main platform, and it's the platform that I can track like I can see who's taking screenshots of their photos or anything that I post regarding them. But it's also just like I'm trying to be more, like I said, precautious type of thing. I just see a lot of weird shit that's been going around, and I don't want my kids to fall victim to it just because I'm putting myself out there more socially. And then it's like I kind of do it as well because I've noticed a lot more people have been doing it too, like posting pictures and scribbling out their kids' faces, or just keeping like certain personal information under wraps. So I think like at first I was kind of under the like under the fence about it, if that's the right term. Like, I wasn't sure if it was something I really wanted to do or not. But as time progresses, I'm just like, yeah, I think that's something that I'm kind of interested in, because, like I said, I know if I want to find something out, I'm definitely going to go look. Like, I'm going to go search. I'm looking up names, ages, where the person's from, like, just so I can really get a gist of who I'm dealing with or the information that I want to know. So it's like I don't want my kids to fall victim of that too. And then like people, like I said, are just it's disgusting how the world is becoming now, especially with like the way everything is progressing when it comes to like social media and what can be shared and what can be found. It was a lot harder back in the day. Like, even when I was growing up, it was a lot harder. But then like once MySpace and Facebook and all those other social medias came about, it just made things a lot easier. So I know my kids kind of like have some social media, and I also have to, watch that as well. But when it comes to me and my kids, like, I'm just trying to be more precautious about the things that I do and the things that I share when it comes to them. That's just a really big thing for me lately. Um, Speaking of my kids, my girl's sleep schedule as of lately. Okay, so I've noticed a lot more that she's been fighting her sleep. Like, usually her bedtime is around like 9:30 or 10, but I'm realizing now that she will not go to bed until damn near 12 o'clock, which kind of throws everything off for me. She's usually in bed by like 9:30, sleeping, and then she'll wake around like 11. I'll feed and she'll go back to sleep, and she'll be asleep until about 2, 3 o'clock. But now she's been falling asleep around 11:45, like 12:30 at the latest, and then she's sleeping until about 6, 7 o'clock, which is messing up like my wake up schedule. When it comes to the boys, we've been waking up late. Like, my youngest has been late to school at least 3 times in the last 2 weeks, maybe even four. And then I've been waking up with milk all over my t-shirt because of the simple fact that she just sleeps through her feedings. And I'm not the type of mom who's going to wake her just to eat. Like, if she sleep, I'm going to let her sleep. She'll just feed when she wakes up. But then I'm also not waking up to pump to make sure that I'm not going over the time that I need to pump, or the time that she's actually, like, the time that she eats. So like I said, I'll wake up and my shirt is just like drenched in milk, or I'll see like milk stains from when I was releasing while I was asleep. So I'm just trying to get a lot better at that, because lately it's been kicking my ass. And then she'll also take like really good morning naps because of, I guess, us trying to get acclimated to like a new sleep schedule. So like I said, she'll sleep until maybe like, I said 6 or 7, between like 5 and like 7 ish at the latest. But then by the time we get done with school drop offs, she is back sleeping. She'll sleep from like 7 until maybe 10, maybe 11. And then we're kind of like getting the day started. So I'm really just trying to find that in between of like bedtime, nap time, pumping, and making sure we are getting up to school on time, because Monday we were not on time. Like I started the week off terribly, but also like caught myself back up. I was able to get dinner, finish the laundry that I didn't finish on Sunday because, like I said, for Mother's Day, I was literally in bed all day long. I didn't do shit. I was just it. So I was able to do that. And then I had my kids clean their bathrooms because they didn't do it on Sunday. I was able to sweep and, just get the house really together. So I guess like my reset that I do on Sundays really happened on Monday. But yes, so the rest of the week, we are going to wake up on time, get the kids to school on time. We only have like a couple more weeks left of school. So I'm really just trying to get back into the groove of things. Um, let's see, what else was I talking about? Yes, my oldest son. Okay, so my oldest is trying new sports, and I love that for him. I remember when he got back to school, I was asking him if he was going to try like golf or soccer, and he was very adamant about not trying either one of them. Just for him to randomly call me one day and just be like, "Oh yeah, mom, by the way, I'm on the golf team, so can you bring me like some shoes and this and that, and I need golf clubs or a golfing bag. Our tournament is on this day, practices are this." And I'm just like, hold on, brother. I thought we weren't doing that. But I'm also just very happy that he's stepping out of his comfort zone and trying something new. And he actually enjoys it. Like, he's been wanting to watch golf on TV now. He's looking into like golfing as a second thing or a third thing aside from like football and track. So I'm just trying to incorporate that for him, as well as like finding baseball teams for my youngest son. He wants to try that as well. Both of those, I think we're going to start off with rec because I feel like those are very expensive sports, but we'll see how that goes. But I'm just really proud of him for stepping out of his comfort zone. And then lastly, before I close out, this month is Mental Health Awareness Month. And what that means to me is just, it's very near and dear to my heart. You guys know how I always talk about going to therapy and how it's a good thing for me and how I love it. And maybe next week or the week after, before May ends, I definitely want to get into like my own mental awareness or like my own mental health story. I'm just not ready right now. I mean, I will become ready because I think it's a very important story to share. And, you never know how many people really you connect with based on your story. But then I'm also like, for those locally who listen to me, they'll be in my business and know more about me than what they already do, which is, I'm fine with that because to an extent I'm an open book, but I'm also kind of private. Like, I want certain people to know certain things about me and like be in my business a certain way. But again, with time, I will dive into that because with it being Mental Health Awareness Month, I want to be a helping hand to those who don't feel like they have an outlet or have a story to tell but don't know how to tell it, where to tell it. And if you guys do want to tell it, you can always email me at highlytalkative@gmail.com. You can be left anonymous or I can put your name out there, but it's just something that I feel using my platform for would be very exceptional and very beneficial. Um, and then again, referencing the Breakfast Club, I was listening to their episode last week, I think, and they had a guest on there, Tim Ross, who was basically speaking about his experience with mental health and like why it's a big thing for him in the book that he wrote, which also kind of tied into why I want to do what I'm doing when it comes to my story in Mental Health Awareness Month. So just keep on a lookout because that episode is coming, whether it's next week or the week before, or the week after, it's definitely coming. And then also, I think next week I will have some guest speakers on my episode. They're more so into like realty and mortgage broker and stuff like that. So I'm really excited to jump into that with them. So if you guys are listening and you're thinking about purchasing a home or have any questions regarding home purchasing or like what the steps you should take, please email me once again at highlytalkative@gmail.com. I'll take those questions down and ensure that I'm able to ask them those so you guys can have those answers as well. As always, It's been a pleasure with you guys. I love the support. I love all the follows that I've been seeing on my Instagram page, highly.talkative. And then also just the engagement that I've been receiving. It's very appreciative. I love it. Please don't stop. I'm not going to stop the grind. It's just something that I'm very passionate about. So I'm going to go ahead and end this episode here. As always, like I said, if you guys want to reach out to me, feedback, something about the episode that caught your attention, or, have any questions, answers, what have you, please email me at highlytalkative@gmail.com. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram at highly.talkative. Follow me on Facebook at Highly Talkative. Also, follow my other two businesses. I have one that's really focused on organization and kind of like HR when it comes to your business. I'm the background while you guys run the forefront. You can find me at Keep It Stashy on Instagram and Facebook for that business. And then all things personalized, backpacks, t-shirts, cups, pins, you name it. I have a business called Sassy Ash Stash. That's SASSYASHSTASH. You can follow me on Instagram and Facebook under those two as well. As always, like I said, I love the support. Continue supporting. We're really reaching goals and milestones that I've only dreamt about, and I know we can go further with that. You guys have a great day. Have a great week. Don't let nobody piss in your Cheerios, and be the best that you can always be. And I will see you guys next week. Holla.